All right, so here we have an example of a problem that we might see that would involve both the area and circumference and the area of a circle, where we're given different pieces of information. So basically, I have problem 1, problem 2, problem 3, and problem 4. So we'll start with the first couple problems and move on from there. So the first problem, they only give us the radius. So I want you to take a moment and try to think of which formulas we would use for circumference and area. Area is pretty easy. There's only one. Okay? And hopefully you thought with circumference, well, this one's got an R in it, so we might as well use that. Now, a problem like this, it's always important to take a moment to identify what you're going to be looking for and what formulas you might have that would work for that. So in this example, we would first maybe look for the circumference here. Now the circumference is simply equal to 2 times pi times the radius. So that means that it would just be 2 times pi times 5. Now pi you almost treat like a variable. So it's what we're going to end up writing here is just 10 pi. Because we could estimate this, in which case, we would have 10 times 3.14, approximating that out, and it's going to be, somewhere in the neighborhood of about 31 or so. I think, yeah, 31.4. Okay, but in general, this is more accurate, so we'll just stick with this one. Now, moving on to the area. Well, the area is simply equal to pi r squared. So instead of writing r here, or r squared, we would just write r radius squared, 5 squared. Okay. And that would be, or the area would just be equal to pi times that, so our area would just be 25 pi. We can fill those into the chart here. Okay. Okay, and I'm actually going to go ahead and skip over, just because number 2 is very much like that. I'm going to skip over to number 3. Now, in number 3, they give us a lot of different information, or information that's a lot different anyway from the first problem there. Now, in the first problem, they gave us the radius and we had to work from there. Now, in this problem, I want you to take a moment and try to think of what formula we would want to use based off the information that we have. All right, so hopefully you said, well, we know the circumference, so of course, why don't we go ahead and use the equation for circumference. Now, also take a moment to think, well, if I'm going to find the circumference, I have 2 formulas I could use here. Take a second, and what we're looking for is we're going to be looking for the radius and the area. And if we look at that, well, 1, the radius is just told to us if we use this formula. And then in the second formula here, well, we use the radius, so it would probably be the best to use this formula here. We get c is equal to 2 pi r. We fill in every piece of information that we do know. In this case, we know that the circumference is equal to 36 pi. And we are solving for r. Well, since we're multiplying r times 2 pi, we're going to divide by 2 pi to get it by itself. Okay. Well, 2 divided by 2 is just 1. Pi divided by pi is 1 on both sides here. And then 36 divided by 2 gives us 18. So we get a radius of 18 here. And then to find the area, well, if we know the radius is 18, then I can fill in the rest of information. I know the area is simply equal to pi times our radius here squared. Okay, and if we go ahead and square out that radius, you might need a piece of scratch paper or at least a calculator. We get 324 pi, and that would be our area. Okay, and lastly, okay, we're given just the area. So obviously there's only one equation that we can use in this case. It would be the area is equal to pi r squared. Okay, they tell us that the area here is 75 pi, which leaves us with only one variable, and that would be our r, which is still squared. Now I want to isolate that variable, so I'm actually going to divide both sides by pi. Those cancel. Those cancel. I'm left with r squared is equal to 75. Okay, I would take the square root of both sides. to get r by itself, and I get r is equal to the square root of 75, which can reduce down to 5 root 3. So I now know that my radius is just 5 root 3. And then the circumference, well, I can use that same trusty formula that I've used over and over again to see that the circumference is just equal to 2 times pi times our radius, okay, which would just be 2 pi times 5 pi root 3, or I'm sorry, 5 root 3. Okay, and then we get that the circumference is simply equal to 10 pi root 3. And we always keep that pi just out in front with the rest of the coefficients because it looks a little bit nicer. Okay, and so our circumference here is just 10 pi root 3. Now I will be doing one more example from the word problem, so if you need help with that, go ahead and move on to there, and I'll see you there. I don't actually see you. Anyway.